Hello everybody and welcome to Data Engineering Stuff. Today we're going to talk about the 4 dimensions of data quality. When you hear about data quality, you also will quickly hear about the 4 dimensions of data quality. They are accurate, complete, timely, and accessible. Sometimes the first one is also called correct. They stand for different dimensions of how data quality should be, or which dimensions or criteria stand for a high data quality. So if you have you can make a check on every 4 of these dimensions and say we have 100% fulfilled them for your data, then you are most likely to have really high data quality. So what are these 4 dimensions about? The first one is accurate. So the accuracy of your data. That is about how much your data reflects reality. So if your data is highly accurate, it is exactly a copy basically of the real world. And so it's of high quality because it can be used for analytics quite well, because it reflects what actually happens in the world. It's about what did your customers buy? It's about what was measured on a production line. Whatever it is, it's highly accurate, so it's really helpful. Complete is the second one. This is about if your data is capturing really everything. So for example, if you have a production line with products, is every product really captured in your data? Or perhaps do you have 10 production lines and one of them has no sensors on it, so you don't have that data? Timely, right, this was complete. Timely is the third one, and timely is about how near your data is collected in relation to the real event happening. So for example, data that would be really timely is, if we take again an example of production line, if you get nearly instant with I would say milliseconds of delay, the data that a special one product passed through a special step in the production line. If you get that within nearly no time delay, you have timely data. Of course, this makes sense because if you imagine you have totally accurate and complete data, but the data is totally outdated, it would be not that useful. And then there's the fourth category or dimension. I find this really interesting that this is always mentioned, because if you talk about data quality checks and so on, you never talk about accessibility. When you talk accessibility, you always talk about more data architecture, data platform design, because you then think about how the users actually use the data. So of course, if you have the best accurate, complete and timely data, it's useless without accessibility. But for practical reasons, I see this fourth dimension a bit separate, as it's really part of the whole design of your platform. And the other 3 dimensions are really tied to the data itself. So the accessibility is more about the environment of the data, and not too much about the data itself. So that are the 4 dimensions, and what I always ask myself after I got through them is, what do they help me? And I have to say, they don't help you a lot, because they are more like abstract goals you have to achieve to have high quality data. And for me it seems sometimes like some weird guy in an ivory tower has invented them to give you some abstract goals that you need to achieve. But in practice, it's really hard to achieve them, because, for example, think of complete as a goal. What is complete? It's quite a matter of definition. So, for example, if you are an automotive company producing cars, what is complete if you are referring to vehicle data? Is this all cars of the world, all cars of the world in the last 10 years, all cars you have produced in the last 10 years? Do companies count that once were part of your company group or but are not longer today? There are really many factors, and you really have to define what is complete for you. Also, imagine that you have a really precise definition of complete. It doesn't help you a lot to measure something, because, for example, if you say all cars produced in the last 10 years from my company are my definition for completeness of my vehicle data. How do you measure that there are cars, if there are cars missing? You can't, because if you would have a comparable value, then you would use that one. It's really rare that you have some kind of number of produced cars and another data source, and you can compare them. Usually the complete is an abstract goal, and you can't really measure if you fulfill it, because the complete data set is unknown, basically. If it wouldn't be unknown, you would have it. So you would know where to get it. So that are in my mind the problems with the 4 dimensions. I think you can use them to get like a really a direction, I would say, where you have to go with your data quality, but in practice it doesn't help a lot. So hopefully you got some insight on the 4 dimensions of data quality, and what they help you with and what they don't do. And thank you for watching, and see you next time.